Chapter 9. William remembered that the Overcast had taken Logan, and so he quickly flew back to the hall. He saw Logan along with a small group of people down in the center where the council once stood. William landed on his feet and ran down to get Logan. Logan called out,
"William, are you okay?"
William responded, "I don't know, Logan. I don't know what they are, where they came from, or how they got here. I really don't know how I can fucking fly all of a sudden, but I do know that we should go back to your house," William said. "While I was out there fighting that thing, I saw the rest are pretty occupied with the angels that are still good. So let's get the hell out of here." Logan nodded, and they both ran through giant columns and massive pillars of black and white marble. They came out of the building and straight to Logan's house. They quickly shut the door behind them, and Logan and William sat down and started talking. William started. "Okay, why do you call me a dreamer?" Logan said back.
"Because that's what you were doing when you first came here. Dreaming. Until now, though. You don't seem to be a dreamer now. You're much more. William, you are exactly what I thought you were. You and one other are the ones who will start the tilt."
William thought for a second. He knew that Logan was holding back an amount of information unknown. He ignored it though, stayed focused, and then said, "Well, I must have somehow woken up in the wrong place. Usually when you dream, you wake up back where you came from, but in my case, I've woken up here, in the dream. Dreams are supposed to be things that were already in my head though, so how could I dream something that I haven't seen before?" Logan said back,
"Look, William, I don't know, but I'll tell you this. I could sit here for hours upon hours telling you everything, but now is not the time. Look, the universe is always at some sort of a balance. It tilts back and forth, positive, then negative. When the tilt happens, 2 new beings are added to the process to keep the balance. That is what you can know for now. I know New York, I didn't die, and I'm not who you think I am."
William then asked Logan, "How do you know David?"
"Well, I'll tell you what happened to David. He's admitted in a mental institution in New York, just as I am."
Logan said.
"By the way, does that ass still call everyone Mike?"
William smiled and answered, "Well, no worries there. That ass still does call everyone Mike, including me. I think it's funny though." Logan's eyes welled up and said,
"Oh, I do miss those of the conscious world."
William replied, "Well, this is gonna sound crazy, but here it goes. I was dreaming my own dream about the ocean, and then suddenly turned around and I was in what those people call the hall, but I think that it's really not the hall, it's David's mind, because as soon as he remembered you, you became clear. Everything in that realm where the hall lies is David's mind. And all of the people are people that David knew. They're memories, David's memories. And David seems to be forgetting, and so it affects your reality. Like you said, Logan, if you believe it, then it's true. That's the power that humans have. So that would make sense that David's forgetting would erase his version of you. Meeting you through David's mind bridged me over to your reality." Logan paused and then said,
"I knew it, William. Yes. Thank God. I thought I'd never get out of this hole."
Logan clapped his hands once in excitement. His stature became more militant and strong. Logan almost completely changed personality since William had met him. Logan then said,
"William, the Overcast. It's an enemy from within, testing your strongest beliefs and morals. In David's case, the angels. It's also his decision to leave the institution. The Overcast wants him to stay. That way it will erase all of his memories without a fight. Like an infection. They aim to consume him and work through him in order to spread onto others. Too bad for the Overcast, though, because I'm not afraid to fight them."
William then agreed. "Me either. After all, half of me still says that I'm dreaming." I saw the fear in its eyes when it saw that I was more angry than afraid. More aware. Logan nodded.
"Yes, William. Most people think that anger comes from the devil, but don't realize that there are two types of anger. One comes from cruel intent, fear, and hatred. The other comes after love and protection, when the innocent is threatened to the point of needing to defend itself and defending what is right.
William nodded and thought to himself, wow, I can't believe the words that are coming out of my mouth. I don't feel 20 years old anymore. William's head was tired, and he felt a little hopeless thinking about all of this. He went to fall asleep with the hope of waking back up in the institution. For some reason, though, he had a feeling he wouldn't. It was true. William woke up and found himself still in Logan's house. Logan was sitting by a fire that was now lit at the fireplace. William sat up and said, wow, I'm still here. I wonder what the hell my body's doing at the institution. Logan turned and said,
Hey, William. Awake now, huh? You slept for quite some time.
William said back, how long was I asleep? From within VMI, Nurse Beth asked the doctor while she sat next to William's sleeping body.
He's been out for a day now, Doctor. Why do you think he's been sleeping for so long?
The doctor replied,
I'm not sure, Beth. Except for that brief moment where his heart rate increased rapidly, he just seems to be sleeping. It's like he scratched himself in that small outburst of panic.
The nurse looked down at William's arm. There were 4 scratches in a line, and she told the doctor.
My, it looks like claw marks.
The doctor replied,
They are. From his other hand. Strange. He must have had a bad dream. Well, he's fine now. Everything shows normal, although we might just have to force him to wake up with adrenaline if he has another panic. For now, we'll just let him be.
Nurse Beth tilted her head in disagreement.
I thought adrenaline was only for...
The doctor interrupted with a patient tone.
I know. It's an uncommon practice, but remember, we think outside the box, Nurse Beth. We'll try to do all we can to wake him up physically, but all the way up to poking him with a hot iron or applying electrical shock, a small dose of adrenaline will be a perfectly sound solution. I'd done it once when I was a military doctor in the field. Soldiers would go silent and lock up, so we gave him a little kick. Worked like a charm.
Meanwhile, William stopped his conversation with Logan and said, Listen, Logan, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here, so I need to try something with you, okay? Logan looked at William and said,
I'm 2 steps ahead of you, kid.
William replied, Okay, those things, the Overcast, they're going to come back and you might have to fight them without me. You need to get to whoever you know here and tell them what I tell you. Logan shook his head and said,
Like I said, son, I'm 2 steps ahead of you. You want me to tell them all that things aren't always what they seem and that some of your angels have turned to the Overcast? Anything else, Chief?
William stood dumbfounded at Logan's perfect description of what he was about to say. William said, Can you turn to stand still for a second, Logan? Logan stood and William concentrated on lifting Logan into the air. Logan felt something and said,
Whoa, I knew you had it, kid.
William kept concentrating until he finally lifted Logan 2 feet off the ground. Logan then said to William,
If you can do that, you're not in heaven, William. You're in a subconscious.
William said back, Well, not anymore. I think I'm actually really here. Logan thought and then nodded.
William, I've got this covered. You need to...
Suddenly, William heard the chilling screams in the back of his mind as his left eye had a small sharp pain. Then Logan said,
Shit! It's too late.
Suddenly, Logan's door blew open and one of the Overcast landed on his feet instead, straight into William's eyes. It was a true demon straight out of hell. William felt a strange and bad feeling as he gazed into the Overcast. He knew, though, to forget about that feeling and remember how to fight. The overcast stood as an object of agony, its metallic teeth searching for warmth and light, the lack of eyes aching for life, giving a pulling feeling of hopelessness. It was trying to turn William from inside, but he would not let it in. Logan yelled out to William.
Now, William, you face this one. You know what I need to do.
Logan took off, blasting through one of his windows, surprising William that Logan had a power as well. Something was definitely special about Logan. William flew straight at the overcast and then straight past it. It took off after William. William flew so high that it disconcerted him. He had a sudden desire to wake up, but he wouldn't. He shook it off and turned to face the overcast. The overcast flew into William and hit him hard in the mouth. William wrestled with it in the air and couldn't get a grip on it. It was flailing too violently. Finally, William got so frustrated from the rapid movement that he punched the overcast right through its side. Black blood sprayed everywhere as the overcast cried out a terrifying cry. 3 more overcast herded and darted towards William. He tried to fly away, but they were too fast for him. Nurse Beth walked by for a routine checkup on William back at VMI and noticed him violently shaking and grunting in his room on the floor. His arms were badly scratched again and blood was coming from his mouth. She immediately ran in the room and called William's name, trying to wake him up. William would not wake up. So she called for help, and to her luck, 2 doctors happened to be walking by at the time. William felt a slight pain on the side of his cheek while he continued to fight 3 overcast. One grabbed William's neck and started to choke him. Suddenly, a good angel that was not taken by the overcast flew by and with one swipe from a slender sword that was glowing with flames, ended the overcast's life. William broke from the overcast's cold grip. The good and strong side of David's mind was helping William. He floated for a second to regroup as the other 2 fluttered and hissed at the angel. Then he felt both coldness and a deep pain in his arm, and then a huge rush of energy. The doctor, holding William's sleeping body, said,
There. Now this adrenaline should bring him back to us.
The doctor jammed the syringe into William's right arm. William felt himself leaving this world he was in, and his ears buzzed. The hair stood up on the back of his neck and on his arms. William's right arm rang with a stabbing pain. Then, brightness blinded William's vision. William sat up in front of the doctors and Nurse Beth gave out a huge gasp and then pushed himself away from them and yelled in panic. Then William quickly realized where he was and said, "Oh, thank God. Thank God I'm back." One of the doctors said,
Must have been an intense dream. Judging your heart rate, though, intense meditation? It took a shot of adrenaline to wake you up, son. You've been out for 2 full days now. Oddly enough, your heart rate was almost non-existent. We didn't know whether to give you sedatives or adrenaline. Always helps to follow your heart, I guess.
The doctor was older, about in his 70s, and had white hair. They helped William up and said,
You'll be okay, William. Just have a seat.
The nurse cleaned the blood from William's mouth and bandaged his arm. William noticed a small crowd of patients outside his room, then plopped back down on his bed and caught